materials and solutions. When one substance is mixed with another substance, it is called a mixture. But what type of mixture it is? Let us discuss different types of mixtures and the concept of solution. Solution as a mixture. We have read about the three states of matter as solid, liquid, and gas. When two or more substances are mixed, a mixture is formed. Mixtures are of two types: homogeneous and heterogeneous. Particles in a homogeneous mixture are uniformly distributed and remain as a single state of matter. For example, salt water, blood and air. But in a heterogeneous mixture, particles are not mixed well and remain as different states of matter. For example, sand in water. Now, can you name the type of mixture when the particles of a solid completely dissolves in a liquid? It is a homogeneous mixture called solution. A solution is formed when particles of a solid completely dissolve in a liquid. A solution comprises of two parts: solute and solvent. A solution is a mixture, but a mixture is not always a solution. Seawater is a solution of water and salt. Air is a mixture of different gases. Solute, solvent, and solubility. Solute and solvent are the two components of a solution. Solute: the solid or liquid or gas substance that dissolves in a liquid to form a solution is called the solute. Solute is the minor part in a solution. For example, in salt water, salt is a solute. Solvent: the substance in which the solute dissolves is called solvent. Also, it is the major part in a solution. For example, in a salt solution, water is the solvent in which salt dissolves. Solubility: the property of the solute to dissolve in a solvent is called solubility. It is the ability of a solute to dissolve in a solvent. On the basis of solubility, a substance can be soluble or insoluble. Let's know more. Water is known as the universal solvent because it dissolves more substances than any other solvent. The salt in our kitchen we add in our food is obtained from seawater. Soluble and insoluble substances. Soluble substances. Soluble substances are those that easily dissolve in a particular solvent, such as water. Sugar dissolves in water easily. Here, sugar is a soluble substance. Insoluble substances. Insoluble substances are those that do not dissolve in a particular solvent. Sand does not dissolve in water. So, sand is an insoluble substance. Iron nails do not dissolve in water. Thus, they are also insoluble substances. When you mix an insoluble substance in a liquid, you can still see the solid, whereas a soluble substance mixes completely with the liquid, and you cannot see the solid in the solution. Certain substances are soluble in a particular solvent, but not in other solvents. For example, sugar dissolves completely in water, but not in oil. Again, the solubility depends on size of the solutes, amount of solute and solvent, and temperature of the solvent. Solubility of substances in water. Soluble: salt, sugar, detergent, glucose, some chemicals and minerals. Insoluble: sand, plastic, wood, metal, glass. The water that we use mainly comes from rivers, ponds, lakes, and wells. This water contains germs, dirt, and sand that make water unfit for use. Therefore, we need to separate these soluble and insoluble substances from water to make it fit for use. Let's know more. The gold ornaments are examples of solid solutions. Pure gold is very soft. So, to make jewelry, metals like copper is mixed with gold. Methods of separation. There are various methods used to separate substances, but the methods to separate soluble substances are different from methods used to separate insoluble substances. Let us know. Removing soluble impurities. Soluble impurities can be removed by evaporation. Evaporation. It is the process of changing water into water vapor on heating. When water evaporates, soluble impurities are left behind. Separation of insoluble substances. Insoluble impurities can be removed by sedimentation and decantation or filtration. Sedimentation and decantation. Take water mixed with little sand or mud. Let it stand undisturbed for a few minutes. You will see that the heavier sand or mud particles settle down at the bottom of the container as sediments. This process is called sedimentation. Now, carefully pour out the clean water on top into a separate container. This process is called decantation. Adding alum into the impure water improves the rate of sedimentation. Alum particles attach themselves to the impurities and make them heavier. This process is called loading. Filtration. Impurities like leaves float on water. Some impurities do not settle down easily. These impurities can be separated by filtration. In this process, impure liquid is allowed to pass through a sieve or filter paper. A filter paper has very tiny pores that allow only water to pass through. Take a filter paper. Fold it in the shape of a cone. Put it gently in a funnel kept over a beaker or flask. Pour the mud water into the funnel. Clean water passes through the filter paper into the beaker. Mud particles are left behind on the filter paper.